Hello and welcome back to another episode of Spread Some Magic 1928. Today I'm giving you one of my favorite recipes, and it's the Chile Relleno Empanada with arable salsa. This is like my favorite. I was lucky enough, it premiered at the, I believe it says the 2022 Food and Wine Festival at Disney's California Adventure. I had it again in 2023. It was not there in 2025, unfortunately, but that's okay because it's in this cookbook. And I'm super, super excited. The empanada itself is pretty easy. You just need to be able to find empanada dough. And I found this at my local carniceria, finally. I mean, it's taken since 2022 to find these. And it's way easier than making your own dough. If you're great at dough, make them. But I am not, so this is the easiest way. I also randomly have this dough press, and it helps seal the edges even easier with a fork, but you don't need this. I don't know, I got like $2 on clearance at Home Goods, and I was like, sure. And it's probably sat, I don't even know how long till now that I finally used it. So if you got these two things, super simple. It is a little bit more difficult to make the chile de arbol sauce. Not difficult per se, time consuming. First, you need to put 2 chile de arbol, the dehydrated kind, in boiling water for 10 to 15 minutes until they get rehydrated. And you're gonna roast it with onion, tomato, and garlic, and roasted red peppers, and then blend it up. But first things first, boiling water with 2 chilies. Okay, once your chilies have been in here for about 15 minutes and are rehydrated, you wanna take the stems out. I chose ones with no stems, so I'm gonna squeeze the water out, and then you're gonna put them on a prepared baking sheet. Now we're gonna roast them. To that sheet, you're also gonna add your Roma tomato. I cut mine in half. 2 garlic cloves, which I smashed mine to get the covering off, the paper, and then 1/4 of that Spanish onion, or whatever onion you have. I did cut mine into smaller chunks. That way when it comes time to put in my mini food processor, it's easier to go in there. It doesn't say to do all that. I don't think it matters either way. And then you're gonna throw this, with those items prepared, into the oven for 5 to 7 minutes until they start to char, because it's at 425. What I am gonna do is I'm gonna move my rack up to the upper third of the oven, and that'll help it char a little better, because we do kind of want that char flavoring. And then I will see you when they're done. Okay, so my veggies were in for 10 minutes, top third of the oven, and as you can see, they're not super charred. They are a little brown. There's a little blistering on the tomato. Still super hot. The peppers did char, so I pulled them out. Now we're gonna let them cool. The recipe says up for 10 minutes. While those are cooling, because we have to wait to make the sauce, we are going to make the stuffing of our empanadas. To a bowl, you have 1 cup shredded mozzarella. You're gonna add 1 cup of shredded Oaxaca cheese. The recipe does say if you can't find this cheese, Asadero or Monterey Jack can be substituted. I used to use Monterey Jack all the time until my store started carrying this regularly. But this melts so nice. This is, if you remember, what I used for our birria grilled cheese. So good, made that for dinner again the other night. I also used it for our birria potato. Melted into that potato, chef's kiss. 1 cup drained diced green chilies. And then we're gonna mix it up. But that is all that goes into the empanadas. Like I said before, the last time I tried to make this, I made my own dough, which I've gotten better at dough making, but I'm still not the greatest. And I didn't have a recipe, so I was flying blind. Anyhow, so I'm gonna put our dough in here. Make sure it's dry, like these come frozen, so you don't want them wet when you drop them in hot oil. So 1/4 cup is 4 tablespoons, so you're gonna be doing less than 1/4 cup. Let's see how this works. There we go. But it didn't seal. So you do want to make sure it seals, because this edge didn't seal. So I might have to use a fork also, because if not, when you fry it, everything's going to come out, and then you're just going to have probably still delicious crispy dough. We are going to practice one in the air fryer also. You may have seen it sitting behind me there. A, it's a healthier option, and B, depending on what kind of air fryer you have, you might be able to do more than like 2 at a time. So if this is for dinner or a party, it can be done quicker. Okay, I am gonna finish doing these while that cools off, and then we'll be back to make the chili de árbol sauce. All right, we've got our empanadas prepped. I just read the back of the bag and it said you were supposed to roll them out. So the dough might be a little thick on these, but it worked. So we're gonna roll with it. I'm gonna set these aside, and now we're gonna make the árbol sauce. Using a food processor, I'm gonna use my mini one, or a blender. Add your chilies, your tomatoes, the onion and garlic. We're gonna add a 1/4 cup of those roasted red peppers. A tablespoon, I believe, let me just double check, yep. A tablespoon of sherry vinegar. 1/4 cup of canola oil. It says to blend until smooth and add salt to taste, but I'm gonna add a pinch of salt right now. All right, I'm gonna give this a go. It's gonna be super loud, and I'll be right back. All right, time to taste it. It's good. I honestly don't remember what this tasted like because it's just drizzled on top, but it's really good. Mine is not super smooth, maybe if I use my blender, but it's harder to get everything out from the bottom of the blender, and it has such a long way. Oh, I could have used my magic bullet. That would have been better. Oh well, it's already done. This is delicious. I'm going to throw it in a bowl, and I'm gonna fry the empanadas. Let's see, it says 3 to 4 minutes in like a deep fryer, heated at 375. So I'm gonna use my stove, and then I'm gonna put one in the air fryer 4 to 8 minutes. I don't know, we'll see. I'll be back. All right, here it is, the Chile Relleno Empanada. We still gotta top it, but I do wanna show you, I did an air fried one, 4 minutes each side at 400 degrees. That's like my default for that. And it's looked great. So if you don't wanna deep fry, you want a slightly healthier version, go ahead and air fry it. It works. But we're gonna try this one because this is like what I had in the parks. So with the sauce, you're just gonna, they kind of do that little swoopy thing over it. And then they top it with cotija cheese. And then like a little bit of micro cilantro, which a little green would make it more visually appealing, but there it is. The Chile Relleno Empanada from the Disney California Adventure Food and Wine Festival 2022-2023. Maybe 2024, but it doesn't matter anymore because we can make it at home. All right, let's dig in. Look at that gooey cheesiness in the middle. Yes. Maybe I needed to roll it out a little bit more. It's not. Definitely cheesy, which a Chile Relleno should be. It's got the heat from the green peppers on the inside, that like sweet heat on the outside with that chili de árbol sauce. This is fantastic. Based on how the dough is, that air fried one's gonna be similar. It looked crunchier than it really is, and that's not a bad thing. So for ease, use the air fryer. Easier cleanup too. But this is delicious. So happy this worked. Like I said, this was one of my favorite items from Food and Wine. So grab yourself this cookbook, especially if you're a fan of Disney food festivals. 101 festival recipes from the delicious Disney vault. Not all of your favorites are in here, but there are some really good recipes. I highly recommend this one. I highly recommend these. I can't say enough, but before I finish eating this, I just want to thank you for stopping by today. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe, and spread some magic wherever you are. Until next time.